Hello guys, let's talk about independent men and how modern women seem to be scared of them. Who goes his own way and makes his own decisions without needing approval from women. The first thing to remember about independence is that women like men who are independent, but they don't want them to think on their own. This means that the man knows how the physical world works and what his role is in it, but he doesn't know how to act on his own without a woman telling him over and over again to do something that is in her best interests. If you want boys and men to develop the trait of independence, you have to let them know that they are in charge of their own lives and that they are the ones who make the decisions. You have to give them the freedom to make their own choices and teach them that failure is a part of life and that the only way to succeed is to make mistakes and learn from them. After making enough mistakes, they will eventually develop enough character to be a little bit skeptical about the world and refuse to be led by others. I know some blue pill men who blindly obey their wives and do what they say. Many of these men are independent and able to take care of themselves, job duties and other tasks. The woman they're with controls their hormones, which are like their brain's operating system. If you want to make a man truly independent, you have to improve his operating system. Many people are obsessed with technology and what it can do, but a person can't become independent without the right wiring and programming in his head. Some people think that in the modern world, where life is easier than it has ever been, philosophy is just a fancy word for human programming or operating systems. Most people are trained or conditioned to handle only small amounts of stress. If you want boys and men to be self-sufficient in a world without safe havens, you have to put them through painful experiences, challenges, and hard situations. When I say that being independent means being able to think quickly and on your feet, I'm not just talking about book smarts. I'm talking about things as simple as starting a fire. Give a child an axe and some matches, and tell him to start a fire in the woods. Don't help him, but let him figure out how to do it on his own. This will teach him how to solve problems in life in a creative way. There are so many problems that only men face that don't have a one-size-fits-all solution. Most teenagers have to make a big decision when they are 16 or 17, even if they aren't sure what they want to do with their lives or are good at it. Forcing your child to study something they don't like is a sure way to make sure they get a great job and become financially independent. But are they really self-sufficient? You chose that path for them. If they decide to go their own way and it leads to a good future, then they can be considered independent. But true independence only comes if they put in a lot of work. For example, deciding for yourself what you want to do with your life and accepting the results, good or bad. When I was younger, I knew I wanted to work in psychology, video writing, photography, and other creative fields. No one made me do these things. I did them because I liked them and was good at them. I use all of these skills every day, and they help me become independent. However, since we challenge the power structure of women in the corporate system around us, independent thinking men are looked down upon. We rely on our instincts for a lot of our independence. This includes our desire to work hard and get rich, as well as our need for women's approval. The idea of independence means giving up control to a woman. But if you're independent and get rich while keeping your freedom of thought, you can keep the rewards for yourself. When I say that women don't want men to think for themselves, the idea of showing so-called independence to the world becomes funny when we realize that the only reason we are independent is to attract a woman. It's like buying a nice car to show it off to others so they can try to steal it from you instead of so you can enjoy it. Most men don't mind because they'll get a pat on the head and a woman will tell them they're right. She'll probably drive off with the car you bought, leaving you smiling on the curb. Then you'll have to work hard, buy another car, and repeat the process until you realize that you've been fooled and that your independence and creativity are being used against you. This is because independent men have internal validation in the kernel of their operating systems and can't be fooled by a pretty smile and a flash of skin. This is why women fear them, because they won't give up things they've worked for easily, if at all. If a young guy wants to be independent, he should be taught about an internal validation map. I don't think there's a large group of women who are always trying to make men feel bad. I think everything works on an instinctual level. There is no secret group of women telling women to keep using derogatory language because men would start to think for themselves otherwise. Also, female government bankers and companies take advantage of men who work hard to meet their needs for validation and acceptance. Our whole society is based on the idea that the independent man is truly self-sufficient. Men are starting to see this in the system when a man tries to sell his independence to a woman for cheap. I often hear people say that our society's leaders support men going their own way because it leads to the breakup of the nuclear family. It does more than that, though. It also makes it easier for the very profitable male-female partnerships to end.